Yes, everyone. Ryjack back here for another live stream. Very excited, of course, to chop it up with you guys, talk some Man City, talk about the game, the very important game this weekend against Crystal Palace in the Premier League. Champions League is on the line. City play host at the Etihad, of course, to the Eagles. It will be Saturday at 7:30 a.m. for me. I will be doing a live watch along, so do come hang out, come watch with me on the morning of the game. I know it's probably, I think, 12:30 kickoff for you guys over in the UK, but for me, it'll be bright and early, 7:30 a.m. I'll be live just minutes or so before the game. We can talk about the lineup and then get right into it. So before we do start, I appreciate all the new subs, likes, comments, all of that. We are on the goal to 150 subs, so any help, obviously, appreciated. Get your lineups in the chat. Let me know what you guys think. Are we winning? Score predictions, all that good stuff. Thank you. So, anyway, let's go over to the preview here so we can take a look. Like I said, City Palace, 7:30, nice and early kickoff. First thing we need to look at is the injury list. A lot of injuries on both sides, a couple suspensions that are also pretty big for Palace. Holland is obviously out, maybe until the end of the season. Remains to be seen. Stones, same, maybe for the season. Ake, maybe for the season as well. Rodri for the season. Akanji, there are rumors that he is the closest of the injured squad players to returning. It says here late April of this year, and we're still early April, so maybe a couple more weeks and we could see Akanji back playing again. Maybe not, remains to be seen. Of course, though, we never know. A lot of these end up being wrong and they end up being out longer. Crystal Palace, Chadi Riyad out for quite a while. Doucouré out for the rest of the season. Chris Richards, American international, out not for much longer, but looks like will be out for the game, which is big. I do rate Chris Richards. He's probably America's best center back. Suspended players, Mark Gahey and Eddie Nketiah. Very big. Gahey is borderline their best player, of interest to a lot of the top half of the league clubs in the Prem. I think Newcastle put an offer in the summer for 60, something like that, 60 million. So obviously very talented English center back who is borderline a starter for the national team nowadays. So pretty big that both of those guys will be missing. Maybe not quite as much for Nketiah, who has struggled a bit. But again, that is a depth piece that does play for them. If you look at the form, City are unbeaten in their last 4, but Palace do it even better, unbeaten in their last 5 at least. Pretty impressive. City, however, have kept a clean sheet 2 games in a row. I don't even remember the last time we did that. Palace, one of the form teams in the league, obviously winning 4 of their last 5. I don't know who this is right here, but 4 of their last 5 games. Pretty impressive stuff for Palace. If you look at our head-to-head matchup, Palace is a bit of not a bogey team per se, but we haven't done as well against them recently as maybe you would think for a team that finishes around 12, 13, 14 in the league. We did draw back in December against them. The other season prior, we had a draw and a win. We beat them here twice in the 22-23 season. But again, a draw, a loss here. Another draw. They're a good team that typically puts in a performance against us for sure. If you look at the table as well, you will see City have fallen out of the Champions League places, which is obviously very important. The most important thing we have to play for during the remainder of the season here. I know we're in the semis of the FA Cup, but again, I've said this before, for me, Champions League is more important than the FA Cup, because the FA Cup is a moment of celebration, whereas Champions League lasts, from September through potentially May, going for that competition. So for me, I'd rather be in Champions League and win the FA Cup. Again, we are only 1 point behind Newcastle and Chelsea. Newcastle do have a game in hand against United, so Maybe they drop points there, but Newcastle kind of flying. They've won 3 in a row. Clearly an impressive, in-form team. No doubt about that. And then you have Palace down here in 11th, typically where they finish, just outside of the top half of the table. But, I mean, you see there, 4 out of 5. Very impressive for Palace. 11 wins. They're on 43. I mean, they're only 9 points behind us in the table, which is pretty remarkable when you think about Palace and when you think about City. Anyway, should we win, we could see ourselves going up for a moment as the game is early, but Chelsea have a relatively easy game against Ipswich. Nottingham Forest have Everton, which is, maybe a difficult-ish game for them, and Villa have Southampton, who they're probably going to smash because they are maybe the worst team I've ever seen in the Premier League. But as far as the lineup that Crystal Palace will put out, this is their season lineup over here on the right. You have Mateta, who's banged in 13 goals, 2 assists. You have Eberechi Eze as a very good player, very impressive, of course, linked with a move in the summer. They had, of course, the tandem of him and Elise last year. Eze chose to stay. Elise is out, so maybe this summer Eze is one who is potentially on the move. Sarr, been pretty impressive, 7 goals, 3 assists, pretty good. Tyreek Mitchell, Anthony Munoz, who is one that there's been some rumors of potential links to Man City. I don't know if those are true or not. Seems unlikely. Seems a lot of Cambiasso news, as well as Frimpong. So I don't know. Not certain on that one, but he is an impressive player. You've got Jefferson Lerma, Lacroix, Gahey, who obviously will be not be playing, and Dean Henderson. So I expect basically this lineup with a replacement center back who I don't know. I don't know the depth for Crystal Palace like that. Maybe you see someone like, I don't know. Apparently they have none. Nathaniel Klein maybe starts. Maybe you move Joel Warden to the back. You also have Will Hughes, who's been very good. Ben Chilwell's a good one as well. Not a center back option, of course, but a good defender to have. So I don't know what they're going to do if they're going to maybe change the system and just go with 2 center backs. That's possible for them, but who knows? We shall see. Now, if we look at City, I'm going to go back one screen here to City squad so we can take a look and see what they think. Of course, I think City is going to win. Where do I do this? Here. I go here. We look at our squad. This is the last starting 11 we ran with. We had O'Reilly, Vardiol, Diaz, Nunez. I'm not sure much will change, to be honest. This lineup was pretty poor in goal, or in front of goal, I should say. No goals against United. Defense was solid, so maybe we keep this and then mix up this half of the pitch here. I did not really enjoy watching a 2 up front of Foden and Marmoush. I don't think it worked, personally. So, in the chat, do let me know what you guys think about how we can run this. I think the back line might stay the same. If I pull up the lineup builder here, so we can look at the squad, so we get some ideas. Ederson, of course, remains in goal. We had a pretty good game against against United. Made maybe 1 or 2 saves that were pretty impressive. The center back pairing. You also have the option for Kusanov to come back into the side, and he has been out for the last 2 days, so it's possible that he comes back in. But I think you'll go with Josko. We've got back-to-back clean sheets with this lineup here, so I'm not sure why you change much. Josko at left-sided center back, Diaz as the right-sided center back, Nico O'Reilly as the left back. Now, the only other option you have, you could change the right back here if Kusanov is back and available. It's him or it's Nunez. Pep had those comments about Nunez not being clever enough in composure for a midfield position, which is a little harsh in my mind. I don't know if he had to quite say it like that, but I do agree. He's not good enough in the midfield. We bought him as a midfielder, so L transfer for me. I thought he was pretty good against United, But if I'm thinking about it, who would I rather have, Kusanov or Nunes? I am going with Kusanov. All day, every day. I love watching this guy play, and I'm going to roll with that back line. Maybe it turns into a bit of a back three with O'Reilly bombing up and down the left. Maybe that's something that we could see. Now, the rest of the pitch is subject to a lot of changes. I think most likely Nico Gonzalez has to start. He didn't play at all for some strange reason against United. I don't know why. We haven't really got much of a response other than just that's what Pep decided to do. He didn't play. For me, that's not good enough. I think the guy has to play. He's clearly been one of our best midfielders, whereas guys like Gundogan, Kovacic, Bernardo, De Bruyne, they've all struggled. So I don't really understand not playing Nico, really. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I don't know, though. Through the middle, I think you go with Marmoush. I think we also look to add some firepower on the wings. We went with essentially no wings at all, which was, I guess, strange. It didn't really work. I think you could get something like a Jack Grealish left wing appearance, which is what I think I would go with. Grealish on the left, Savinho on the right, possibly. Now, if Oscar Bob was fit, you guys know me, I would be starting Oscar Bob just about every game because I think he's our best winger. But I don't know. He didn't even make the bench last game, so remains to be seen what we do there. I don't really know about that one. The other two midfielders that pair with Nico, I think Gundogan and Bernardo are not options. They were pretty poor, in my opinion. I know some people say Bernardo was good, but I don't know what game you were watching. He runs around and he works very hard. And thank you for your running around and work ethic. But football is more than just playing hard. You have to actually be able to bring the ball forward and create things, which he cannot do. So, with that in mind, I think we don't see Gundogan because he started 3 games in a row. 4 in a row, probably too much for him. Maybe we do. Pep just doesn't, care about resting the players. There's only a month and a half or so left of the season. But I'd go Kovacic, Nico, and then I think I would do Foden over KDB. KDB was really poor in the United game. First game since, I think, 2021 or 2020 that he didn't create anything at all. No chance creation at all, which is mental. So I think this is what I would personally do. You have Grealish cutting inside, of course, which allows O'Reilly a lot of room to stay wide. Maybe it even becomes something like this box that we've seen a bit, where Savinho can cut in and kind of play this bit of a freer role there, and Foden and him can maybe interchange a bit. Again, I don't know personally what the best option is here, but I think the midfield needs to have a shakeup, and I think the attackers need a shakeup compared to the lineup we ran against United. And this is what my head makes the most sense. Nico deep, Kovacic in the middle in this 8, and Foden is the 10. Sub opportunities, you have Doku can come on, Oscar Bob can come on, KDB can come on, and I guess Nunes, Rico, Lewis can come on, all other spots of the pitch. But I think this is what I go with. I don't know if it's what City will do. I don't know if it's Pep's idea. Pep will probably play Bernardo and Kevin Gundogan in the midfield again, which I think at this point we all know does not work. So hopefully we don't see that. Hopefully it'll be something like this. Maybe you switch out Doku from Grealish. But I don't know. The lineup could be anything. Nothing would shock me at this point in time. Anyway, that's my preview. So thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. I do think City will win. They got to understand the importance of this game. It's at home. It's against a bottom half side. Surely we go for the win. I'm going to go with a 2-1. Scratch that. Let's go 2-0. Let's go a little positive. Send some positive energy out there. 2-0 win. Marmoush brace. Marmoush brace. 2-0. We keep the clean sheet. And City move a little bit closer to Champions League qualification. Thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. We will be live for the watch along Saturday morning, 7:30 a.m. for me, 12:30 for you guys over there in the UK. Big one this weekend. Huge 3 points that we have to get. So come on, City. Thank you guys. See ya.